Fates. Happy Friday. I hope you guys are doing great and you've been having a great week and you're looking forward to the weekend. I know I am. This weather is making me very spring feverish and all I want to do is just be outside all the time. So today we are going to do our review of our tree diagram. So this is one of the questions that you had on your work from last time. And then today's lesson is also going to be a little bit different. So you're not going to have the traditional worksheet and everything that you're working off of. And I'll explain more when we get to that section. So first of all, we are going to do this thing. So Lisa is ordering her lunch from the canteen. She has a choice of whole wheat or 7-grain, lettuce or tomato, tuna or ham. So what are the different choices that she could do? So first of all, her bread choices are either whole wheat or 7-grain. So we have that filled in for us. The next is lettuce or tomato. So what are the two options she has? If she gets whole wheat, she can either have lettuce or she can have tomato. And then her last choice is, let's say she has whole wheat and she has lettuce, then she can choose tuna or ham from that choice. So if she gets whole wheat tomato, what are the two choices of meats she can have? She can have tuna or ham. So she can have a whole wheat with tomato and tuna. She can have a whole wheat with tomato or ham. She can have a whole wheat with lettuce and ham, or a whole wheat with lettuce and tuna. Now we look at the 7-grain section. So she can get 7-grain bread. And then what are her choices of vegetables? Either lettuce or tomato. So lettuce or tomato. And then again, it stems off into two branches. So we can choose either tuna or ham for the meats. So she can get tuna or ham. And then same if she gets tomato, she can get tuna or ham. So you see how it seems like, oh, she has 50-50 shot of getting whole wheat or 7-grain, 50-50 of getting lettuce or tomato, or a 50-50 of getting tuna or ham. But as you can see with this tree diagram, with everything being spread out, she actually has more than just the two options. In total, she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different combinations that she can choose from. That's why tree diagrams are really good, because when you get into that final row or this final column of this tree diagram, you can see all the possible outcomes or all the possible choices. So in this case, with having the choice of breads, the choice of vegetables, and the choice of meats, she has a total of 8 different options that she can choose from for having a sandwich. All right, so in total she has 8 choices. All right, and that's our kind of review. So pretty simple at the end of it. All right, now we are going to be doing something a little bit different today. Like I said, you're not going to have the traditional worksheet like you've normally been doing. Today, I want you guys to create a very simple game. So you see how I drew a bit of a game board here? We are going to create a game together on video format. And what you're going to end up doing today is you're going to actually choose a game of yourselves that has equal probability. So let's say I have 2 little pawns. I'm just going to draw them as like little circles as counters, just to make things a little bit easier. So I have a red counter and I'm going to have a green counter. I'm playing with someone else and I need these rolls to be equal so we both have a chance. Now what I could do is I could just do a very simple game of, oh, we roll a die, we go how many spaces are on the die, first one to get to the end wins. But that wouldn't be a very interesting game. I need to have a little bit more rules involved. So maybe I can do it is if I have a die, if we roll an odd number, you go that many spaces that are on the odd number. So what are my odd numbers? Are 1, 3, and 5. So I can either go 1, 3, or 5 spaces if I roll an odd number, depending on what number I roll. If I get an even number, I go back, maybe I'll go back 2 spaces. So this kind of adds some interesting level to the game rather than just rolling a die and going that many spaces. So I'm going to roll a die, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull it up on Google for me. So what I'm going to do is, because I don't have a die that I can show you, obviously like in my home where I can switch the camera, so I'm just going to do it on Google. So if you type on Google roll a die comes up and you can just click roll and it will roll it for you. So here my first roll is 3. If I roll an odd number, I can go that many spaces. So let's say I'm the red counter. I'm going to go 3 spaces, 1, so I start 1, 2, 3. My red counter ends up over here. All right, next is green. So I'm going to play for green as well. So I'm going to roll the die for that. Oh, 2 spaces. So my rule for getting an even number is back 2 spaces. However, I can't go back further than start. So it's just going to stay at start. All right, now it's red's turn again. Roll. Oh, I get a 6. If it's an even number, I go back 2 spaces. So my red goes back over here. All right, now it's green's turn. Oh, it's 6. It's still at start. Red. 6. It goes back 2 spaces. It goes back to start. So my red's back at start. Now it's green's turn. A 4. It's an even number. It stays at start. Red's turn. It's a 2. It stays at start. Oh, green's turn. I got a 5. So green got a 5. That means it goes back. It means it gets to go forward 5 spaces. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch to my green color. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we are. Now it's red's turn. Let's see what we get. Oh, red also gets 5. So now red gets to meet up at green on this space over here. All right, now it is green's turn. Oh, it gets a 4. It goes back 2 spaces, so green's going to end up over here. So what you're going to be doing today is you're just going to be doing something very similar to this. You're going to have a very simple board game. It could look something like this one here. And you're going to create a role. You can use a die. You can maybe use a coin. So maybe you use 2 coins. And if you flip both of them heads, you get to go forward 2 spaces. But if one of them is heads or tails, you only get to go forward 1 space. If both of them are tails, you stay where you are or you go back a space, something like that. Or you can do it with spinners. We've been using spinners in this unit. Is if you have a spinner that has maybe 4 equal colors on it, let's say it has green, blue, yellow, and red. If you land on a red, you get to go forward 3 spaces. If you land on green, it's only 1 space. If you go on yellow, you go back a space. If you land on blue, maybe you just stay where you are. So you are going to create a very simple board game. It could have squares that look something like this, that doesn't have too many spaces, it doesn't take too long to play. And you're going to create rules. So you can use a die, and maybe you have rules like this, or maybe it's an even number, you stay where you are. Something along those lines, just something that's not so simple that, oh, you just go forward that many spaces. So you can use coins, you can use a spinner, or you can use a die. The good thing is if you want to use a die, you can just use roll a die because you need to practice the game to make sure it's fair. So roll a die, you can pull that up on Google. If you need a coin, you can do heads or tails. Or you can do flip a coin. And then there we go. Google will flip the coin, so it'll do that. Or you can create a custom spinner either by drawing it out on paper, or you can actually use one of the spinners that we've used before, or you can even make one online if you know how to do so. If you want, you can just do it on a piece of paper and use a pencil and paper clip. So the choice is up to yours. So you're going to create a very simple game. Maybe the board will look exactly like this, but the rules need to be even. But it can't just be as simple as go forward this many spaces. So you need to have something that's a little bit more interesting, like going back spaces or staying where you are or losing a turn maybe. But the choice is up to you. So you can use, again, like I said, a die, a coin, or a spinner. And you're just going to create a very simple rule. So what you can do is draw out on a piece of paper and email me and email me that sheet, and you can put the very simple rules on it like I did over here. Like I did over here with odd or even using a die. So I'm not going to play this game to the end because it's going to take too long, but that's essentially what you guys are going to be doing today. And it's just a nice way to kind of round off this unit. So the choice is up to you. If you have any questions or if you need some ideas, let me know. And otherwise, I will see you guys on Monday.